to another vlog, guys. Quick vlog today. Just wanted to talk about a little topic that was on my mind. Driving sports cars or exotics in the winter. I know there's a notion that you got to store the cars, you got to do this, you got to do that, but today I'm going to tell you the reality of why most people put their cars away for the winter and why some people drive them. So let's get the vlog started. Taking the M4 today. I'm out here 410 south, baby. And I'll talk about exactly why I choose to drive the cars and why I choose to store some cars. So primarily, first reason for people storing their cars in the winter, we'll start off with the storing part, is because a lot of people don't like cleaning the cars. So for me, when I did drive the R8 in the winter, I was okay with putting in the effort to clean the car. And so after a while, you get tired of trying to clean it, getting it detailed all the time. So that's a very big factor into driving in the winter, because there's salt all over the roads. And this salt gets all over your interior, all over your car, all over the mats. Like, it becomes to a point where it's like, is it really feasible when you have a daily driver, right? So the cars like the C63 and the M4 for me are fun cars, but they're not really something that like I have to care too much about where I'm polishing them every second weekend, right? Second thing, value. Certain cars are just valuable, and with value, the problem is, you know, your car will depreciate if it starts to get wear and tear from winter, and it does happen. You'll see salt, residue corrode things if it's not an aluminum body, but the nuts are still steel, right? Second thing is, if you don't have paint protection film, then the front gets all chipped up, and you don't want to repaint any of that. So it's a very fine line between driving something that's protected and driving something that isn't. Another thing why people drive the cars in the winter is because the cars are not permanent fixtures. Look, at the end of the day, cars are meant to be driven. If you're trying to keep a car for a long time or a lifetime, I understand. The problem is that overall, you don't really get anything back for your car if it's not winter driven. So in the winter, if you were to drive your car 90% of the time and clean it, honestly speaking, when you trade it in or you go sell it, no one's really gonna be like, hey, why'd you drive your car dry days on the winter? Because you're gonna wash it, you're gonna clean it, it's gonna take care of itself on that end, right? So that's a big component of why I drive the C63 and the M4 in the winter, because my sister is able to drive it, my wife drives it, and everyone likes driving these cars. And in the winter with the proper tires, they're fine. I mean, I have all-season tires on the M4, Performance Michelin all-season tires, and so the rule is you don't take it out in the snow, heavy snow. It'll be okay at 1 to 2 centimeters of snow, but the C63, I put winters on there because it's a four-door. I feel like more people can drive it, and it just makes more sense. So that's a big component of why people don't drive certain cars. Second thing is, with why people do drive the cars, is a lot of people love taking drives as a therapy session, like a session where it gives them something to do. Many cars now are built to the point where they either have all-wheel drive, or they have lift systems, or they just have great traction control with the right tires. So cars like the R8s, 911s, Huracans, they're all-wheel drive, and they actually perform really well in the snow. So for us to drive those cars in the snow with winter tires and proper prep, some WeatherTech mats, has heated seats, has all the comfort features. Look, it's not, you don't want to take the car out on a blizzard, but again, 95% of winter in most cities is dry. So the only thing I would say is paint protection film is your life savior, because it helps save the car from chips. But honestly, beside that, it's not a big deal. Now, with the M4, we've had this car for close to 2.5 years now. And look, I'm driving it right now. The roads are super clear. and there's no problems. Ice on the hood, and you're gonna say, oh my god, this and that, etc. But what I've figured from having cars throughout my life is that a lot of these cars, if you don't drive them, they will have so many problems, because the seals, the engines, the rubber bushings, things that sit for too long, they start having issues. So I'll give you a prime example. The R8. With the R8, I used to drive it every single day, like as much as I can. Winter, doesn't matter, or whatever weather, right? Then obviously life, I got busier, so I take it out. I still take it out once a week on like a good day, just to warm the car up, get it driving, get the engine RPMs up. But the year that I drove it very less has been the year that I encountered the most smallest problems. And what I mean by smallest problems is, so for example, let's say this was the R8, the engine coolant sense, the stick right there. In the R8, the sensor went out, and the only reason I could think of it was because it wasn't going through its full life cycle. So I had to change the oil temperature sensor because I didn't drive the car enough. I did the valve cover seals, and valve cover seals usually go when they start going through really cold and warm cycles. Look, yes, you're not going to be able to take the car out every day, but you do need to drive them. You need to drive them spiritedly. You have to take the RPMs up. You have to push the car a little bit for its paces to warm everything up. And that's something that I learned owning the R8, that these cars are much happier driven. Okay, last thing I'm going to say about these cars is they are materialistic items. Tomorrow, if a car's not here, you're still in a better place. We buy these things to enjoy life. We buy these things to get fulfillment and enjoyment. When I was younger, which is not just a part of your life when I was faced, so about when I was not younger into cars, I used to care too much. And caring too much leads to like a OCD or an obsession about everything being clean or perfectly mint. But the truth is, when you drive your cars, little things are gonna happen. Little scratches or little chips, whatever it may be. So it's gonna happen. It's not something that can be stopped. It's not something that can be, like, oh my God, I'm gonna keep this car perfectly mint. Yes, again, as I said, PPF will help you, but it's not something that will keep your car mint either. Like, you might have some under damage on the front bumper because you scraped somewhere, and that's totally normal. And why I tell you that is, that was a weird noise by this guy in the truck. And why I tell you that is because even if those things happen, nothing changes in your life. Nothing happens, nothing bad's gonna happen, the world's not gonna break, and you slowly start to realize that they're meant to be enjoyed. And then what you do throughout the ownership is you monitor what you might have nicked or scraped or whatever, and towards the end of the ownership, when you're ready to sell the car, you can fix those things. And fixing those things together at the end of the car's life cycle, when you're done with it, is much easier than trying to chase after the smaller things. That's my advice to enjoy these cars. This is my advice to winter drive them. This is my advice to get them dirty, use the windshield washer fluid in your car. Because to be honest, even those pipes start to get rotted out. Yeah, it's just a car. End of the day, like paint protection film, wash your car through a touchless car wash if you can, or go get a detail. Like, I try to do both. So I have a detailer that details the cars every month. But then I also try to go through a touchless like once or twice a week, so just to get the underside and everything, all the stuff clean. But yeah, they're meant to be enjoyed, guys. I just wanted to make this short video. They're cars, and I love driving them. The R8 is going to be back out in March. And I told you the reason I don't winter drive that car anymore is because of life, just how busy it is. It's very hard for me to keep the car clean, maintained, and it doesn't make sense with all these cars at home. So that I'm at that point in my life. But if I had the R8 and just like an SUV as a daily driver or something, I would honestly not put the R8 away, because at one point that's what I had. I used to daily drive the R8, and so that's what I'm going to tell you guys. Like, enjoy your cars, enjoy the passion. Enjoy the weather, all sorts of it. Put your cars through it, whatever it can do safely with proper winter tires, and enjoy your cars. Hope you guys have a good day. It was a small little video I just wanted to make, but hopefully maybe, you know, it might inspire you guys to winter drive a little bit. Peace.